fake stuff and seen a lot of stuff that, a person that you claim that you're cool with, you'll never see. So that was my big issue with him. I just know, King can take you a long way. And I just don't agree with King to, what
The problem is Terence Crawford now is really only going to want to fight for big money, and there's only certain fights that can generate that kind of money.
Terence Crawford finally broke his silence, firing back at Floyd Mayweather after shocking sparring footage surfaced. Crawford made it crystal clear that he felt betrayed, insisting that a man who calls himself a friend should never expose private gym wars to the public. He didn't hold back, slamming the lack of respect and demanding accountability for Mayweather, stressing that champions are supposed to uplift each other, not cross the line for clout.
I had like disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting, and me, I'm a real individual. I just felt like it was all cool at one point in time, and when Errol Spence fight was getting mentioned and talked about and signed, I just feel like he just did a lot of fake stuff and seen a lot of stuff that a person that you claim that you're cool with, you've never seen. So that was my big issue with him. I just know, King can take you a long way. I just don't King can, actually think.
Eddie Hearn's bold remark that Terence Crawford should retire has ignited heated debate across the boxing world. On one side, Hearn acknowledges that Crawford's legacy is already cemented. He has conquered weight divisions, destroyed elite champions, and left no doubt that his name belongs among the sport's immortals. Walking away now, at the absolute peak, would guarantee that his image remains untouchable forever, just like many legendary champions before him. But Hearn also knows the other side of the equation. With Saudi Arabia pouring billions into boxing and mega cross-promotional events becoming the new normal, Crawford could earn jaw-dropping paydays. Hearn understands this balance better than anyone else.
Sorry?
Should Crawford retire?
Do you know what? Someone said the other day, and it's very true, because I actually said it about Usyk. We've got a real tendency, haven't we, to kind of try and retire people off. Do you know what I mean? Like I said with Usyk, I think now he should retire. And everyone's like, why do you want him to retire? It's like, I just think it's a great way to go out. I actually also think that Crawford could move down and win a world title at 160. And that would make him, 6 division champ? 5? 35, 40, 47, 54, 6 division champion. But the problem is Terence Crawford now is really only going to want to fight for big money. And there's only certain fights that can generate that kind of money. So Shakur, who's obviously very close to him, seemed to say, so maybe that's it.
Floyd Scofield has made his stance crystal clear. He believes Terence Crawford should step away while sitting at the very top. In Scofield's eyes, Crawford has already done everything that defines true greatness in boxing. He has become the undisputed pound-for-pound king, conquered multiple weight classes, and proven himself against the fiercest rivals of his generation. His skill and legacy are not in question, but Scofield warns that chasing more glory could invite unnecessary risk. If Crawford does choose to fight again, Scofield insists it should only be against hungry young lions like Vergil Ortiz or Frank Martin. This reflects a generational shift, where the new wave wants to test themselves against the established king. Still, Scofield's words are filled with respect, acknowledging that Crawford has nothing left to prove and that his legacy, already flawless, would be best preserved at its peak.
I feel like Crawford, he could retire if he wants. I feel like if he does get another fight, I would love to see him in there with Vergil. Vergil or Jaron, I feel like those are both great fights, but those are fights we just got to see. We just got to see those fights before. I feel like those are the only 2 fights I would entertain.
Not a rematch? Maybe a rematch with Crawford and Canelo?
I feel like it wasn't close enough. It wasn't close enough.
Really?
If it was close, maybe, but it just was like, it wasn't close.
The debate refuses to die down. Fans everywhere are obsessed with a fantasy matchup of prime Floyd Mayweather versus prime Terence Crawford. Mayweather's defensive wizardry and flawless ring IQ made him practically untouchable in his era, while Crawford's ruthless adaptability and killer finishing instincts have allowed him to dismantle every single opponent he has faced. On paper, it's the ultimate clash of 2 masters. But reality paints a different picture. Floyd is far removed from his prime, no longer carrying the reflexes, speed, or stamina that once made him invincible. Any modern-day fight would be more spectacle than true challenge. That's why fans keep calling it a dream battle, one destined to stay in fantasy.
So yeah, everybody. So this is a good question that the ring put out. So Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather, fantasy fight that will never happen. Now, this is a really good question. Who will win between these two? Me personally, this was old Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to say Pretty Boy Floyd. I'm talking about like the younger version of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather wins. You're talking probably prime Floyd Mayweather versus prime Terence Crawford. You could see Floyd Mayweather beating Terence Crawford. But you talk about Money Floyd versus Terence Crawford. I see Terence Crawford stopping him in the later rounds due to Floyd Mayweather's passive style and Philly shell. I believe he'll melt. Terence Crawford would just break him, I think. People forget what Manny Pacquiao was able to do on Floyd Mayweather, have success with him, certain parts of the fight. People just need to see, Floyd Mayweather's, I would say, fights, later down in the years. I think Crawford would just need to break that defense. I don't know. The thing is about Terence Crawford, he has a very, very awkward style, very awkward, footwork. This is the thing. A lot of people were thinking, no, nobody beats Floyd. Or if you try to, or somebody else, no, this man will beat Floyd. Floyd will beat everybody. I don't think it's the case with Terence Crawford, everybody. I think Terence Crawford would have been the man to actually beat Floyd. Honestly, for what he did to Canelo Alvarez, he beat a 168 Canelo Alvarez. 168 Canelo Alvarez.
Boxing analysts are quick to remind fans that statistics and accolades, while impressive, don't always tell the full story in a head-to-head debate. Floyd Mayweather's legendary 50-0 record and his ability to remain undefeated across multiple generations is a feat few fighters will ever replicate. On the flip side, Terence Crawford has achieved something Floyd never did, becoming undisputed in multiple weight divisions, stamping his dominance with decisive, statement-making victories. The comparison, however, isn't simple. Mayweather's resume sparkles with global superstars and record-breaking pay-per-views, while Crawford's legacy thrives on clean, undeniable performances inside the ropes. Analysts argue that greatness is not only about what's on paper, it's about context, timing, and how styles collide once the bell rings.
Floyd Mayweather versus Terence Crawford is the topic of this video, and someone posted this: number of world champion fighters beaten, Floyd with 23, Terence with only 11, but my response to this is, being more accomplished does not mean you're better than someone. By example, Canelo has 18 former world champions beaten, Terence has 11, so you could argue that Canelo's more accomplished. Meanwhile, Terence just whooped him over the course of 12 rounds over the weekend. We all saw it. Plus, more accomplished fighters lose to lesser accomplished fighters all the time, so that's a bad argument. Let's talk skill for skill. Terence Crawford has knockout power in both hands. He can switch stances. He's not a stationary target. He has good footwork. He knows how to counterpunch. He knows how to fight on the outside and on the inside. He can make it dirty. He knows how to box, and he knows how to fight. There's a difference. Guys like Shakur Stevenson, for example, they know how to box. When it comes to actually getting down and dirty, the jury is still out on one Shakur Stevenson, just by example. Terence Crawford, I think, if you look at the names on Floyd's list here, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo, Marcos Maidana, Cotto, and the list goes on, I think Terence Crawford has a shot at beating all those guys. I don't think anybody on that list jumps off the page and goes, oh my God, I think he smokes Terence Crawford. You can't say that about anybody on any of these guys' lists and names here. So yeah, that's my take on this, man. Maybe the only guy is Gennady Golovkin. I could see Gennady Golovkin giving Terence a really hard fight, especially at that weight. But remember, Canelo lost to Gennady. Gennady shouldn't even be on this list. He's only on the list because the judges are in Canelo's back pocket. So, that's a whole nother argument. But yeah, that's my take on this, guys. Skill for skill, Terence Crawford might be one of the best of all time. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to accept that, guys. It's fine. Let me know what you think in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree. Doesn't matter. Just join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.
At the end of the day, the debate over Floyd Mayweather versus Terence Crawford will never stop, because it represents more than just a fight. It represents two eras of dominance. Floyd's immaculate defense, business genius, and undefeated record made him a global icon, while Crawford's ruthless finishing ability, switch-hitting brilliance, and dominance across divisions have made him the king of this generation. Fans can argue resumes, numbers, and timing forever, but the reality is simple. Styles make fights, and Crawford's style is one of the rarest the sport has ever seen. Whether you believe Mayweather's legacy is untouchable or Crawford is already the superior fighter, one thing is clear. This is a discussion that keeps boxing alive and electrifying. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more explosive breakdowns.